It's me. It's Ringside Report MMA. Tonight on the show, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. Is it happening or not? Let's figure it out.
Let's go!
And some other stuff. We got other stuff planned, but I'm really concerned. I'm concerned. I think we're all concerned. The MMA world is concerned. Ringside Report MMA is concerned. AJ DeLessio is concerned. Yeah, he's not that concerned. He's eating the whole popsicle over there, having a good time.
Who?
Where's Fred? Is Fred there?
Where's Fred,
there he
man?
is. Fred is
in the
concerned.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're so loud with your popsicle.
Yeah, slurping over there.
Listen, I had some Poirier hot sauce. I tried it. That shit is hot, man.
Ooh.
So I need one
Where
of
did
these.
you get it?
I got it as a gift.
Wow.
Poirier.
Who gave
What's
you Poirier
happening
hot
here?
sauce?
I can't mention any names, dude. We're on air.
Ooh. What does
Can't
that mean?
mention any names.
What does that mean? I'm interested now. Fred?
I'm wondering
Papazzi.
if we should throw out names, me and Dave, but I don't think we'll play that game.
No, don't do that. But that shit is hot, man. I'm eating this popsicle and my tongue is on fire, man. All to say, man, it would have been nice to have Poirier in now, right? I think this would have been a much better fight if Conor can't fight. I would have liked to see, Poirier Chandler.
Chandler?
Uh-huh.
Nah.
Why not?
That's a
Really?
letdown for Chandler.
Well, I mean,
He'll still get a
anything
good pay.
will be a letdown for Chandler. So, I mean, that's a tough. There's not a single fight out there that's gonna match the hype of a Conor fight. So, anything else is a letdown.
Here is the latest, guys, from noted MMA reporter Ariel Helwani.
Let's hear it, Ariel.
Whoop. Hey,
The
it's not
mermaid.
there.
What?
It's not
Ariel's
there.
gone?
He's got nothing. Apparently, he's got nothing for us. Hang on. Let's see if we can figure out why that happened. Why did that happen? I seem connected. Everything seems
Don't
good.
blame it on AJ. AJ had his problems before the show.
AJ had all sorts of technical issues we had to fix for him before the show. Everybody.
But now we're
helping
good,
AJ.
man.
Are we good? Are we connected on this thing? Can I go? No, right? It's not showing up.
Where's the production team?
We're working on it, I think. I'm going to restart my thing here. There is news, though, about Conor McGregor. And if I can't show you the tweet, I might just read it to you here in a second. As we try and work through whatever's
What's
going
up,
on.
boys?
There we go.
I
We
haven't
got it.
seen or
We
heard
got
from you all
it. No
week, man.
problem. Take
got
it
it?
easy.
Okay.
Here's the latest from Ariel Helwani about
What's
30
he
minutes
saying?
ago. He says, now that the Saudi main event situation has been resolved, all the focus is on 303, UFC 303. They have a new main event lined up that doesn't include McGregor and Chandler. They have a new co-main lined up that doesn't include Hill and Ulberg. The consensus seems to be that they want to announce it all, and the new date for McGregor-Chandler, August or September, has been discussed, and that would likely mean creating a new pay-per-view dates. Those months, August 31st and September 28th, have been discussed. That part, which is massive in all this, hasn't been finalized, which, of course, setting a new pay-per-view and making a new thing, that is a whole other deal. Hence the delay, lots of moving parts. He says no talk, by the way, has centered around Chandler fighting someone else on 303. That was once discussed at the very beginning of all this, but nothing made sense. The plan, at least of right now, seems to be to just move it to later this year. And that's what Ariel Helwani is reporting, and he is on top of these things. And I would guess that that is as close to the situation, as possible. Seems likely,
But no one's saying
given
what the
the
reason
smoke
is.
around this whole Conor McGregor. It's just so much
Yeah, but what's
going
the
on
reason,
around
Dave?
this fight. The press conference getting canceled last week. You knew something was up. Chandler was told, don't go to Ireland. He didn't go. Conor's like, oh, everything's fine. Seems to be saying everything's fine, but everything is clearly not fine. And I am willing to bet that Chandler and McGregor will not be fighting each other in 2 weeks' time at UFC 303. And I wonder what the new main event is going to be. There's been talk of Alex Pereira against Yuri Prohaska in a rematch. That's possible. There's also talk that Brian Ortega is going to take on Diego Lopez, which is a pretty good fight. And I think that'll probably be the co-main. But what will the main event be? I don't know. I could see Pereira and Yuri as a new main event for that one.
Yeah, that would probably save it.
Yeah. If you add Pereira and Yuri and Ortega and Lopez, I think you got something there.
I mean, if you have Pereira and Yuri, you definitely have a main event. But I would just be wondering the preparation for these guys, because with 2 weeks left, there's no preparation. They got to pack bags and go to Vegas. So it's a little bit interesting on that. Can both guys make weight? I guess yes, if they're going to take the fight. So those are all things to keep an eye on. But look, Yuri Pereira is a good fight. It will be missing, though, the promotion. They're not going to give it the promotion and everything. Yeah. Hardcore MMA fans definitely will watch it. But, yeah, it's a hit.
But no Conor. And you wonder what this means. Why no Conor?
I mean,
is it an injury? Is it something else? I heard somebody saying that he might be holding the UFC up for money, saying hey, this whole show's based around me. I want a bigger cut.
Could be. I mean, he's in the position to be able to start negotiating at levels that Dana White's probably not seen before.
Yeah.
I mean, Conor's time is ticking, right?
That's it. He's only got so much time left to make money as a UFC fighter. So you would think he'd want as much of that money as possible. And he knows that the whole show's based around him. So, it's possible. I don't know what's going on with Conor. But the UFC apparently trying to move the fight to August or September. Sounds like an injury. Sounds like some sort of injury. Yeah.
And maybe
I'm thinking something else, Dave.
That press conference was a couple of weeks ago. So I think I'm just speculating, but to me, an injury, giving it a week or two to see if maybe he could fight, and now realizing that it's just not possible is a logical scenario. I could see that being the story, but I'm just speculating here.
Yeah, I think it was last week, the press conference, right? Because we were talking about it last week, AJ. Fred was off last week, and we were talking about it, and we were showing the picture of Conor in the doctor's office there, smiling, but he was still in a doctor's office, and we were, speculating whether or not he got hurt, and they didn't do a press conference because they weren't sure if the fight was actually going to take place, and now it seems like, I think the Fred scenario makes a lot of sense where, Conor's hurt, and he's just not going to be able to make the fight. It happens. It's unfortunate, but I think that's the situation. I think Conor's probably hurt, and they're just going to have to push it.
I mean, there's a lot of other things, too. I mean, he apologized to the fans and all that kind of stuff, but he didn't come out and say, listen, I've got an injury. I mean, there's nothing concrete. The only thing that's concrete is a couple of weeks prior, his dad had a heart attack, and, there was big concern for his dad. So, I'm feeling that that's got to be something that's affecting his training camp, and he's not as ready to go as he would have because of his concern for his dad. I mean, we haven't heard any reports from that, and that is real. I mean, his dad had a heart attack. That's a major concern for Conor and for anybody in anybody's family when shit like that happens. But the thing is that makes sense to me. Is there an injury to Conor? Last week we were on the show and we looked at his picture online, and let me tell you, man, that guy was like a kid in a candy store. He was so happy, smiling, didn't look like 1 ounce of a guy who's not in shape. It didn't look like a guy who was injured. it could have been that the guy is still not 100% ready to meet Chandler, because fighting Michael Chandler, it's going to be a war. There's no doubt about it. Chandler delivers, and he comes out and he knows that he has a chance to win this, and he's going to go all out. So if Conor doesn't feel all out because of the fact that his training camp wasn't as great as it should have been because of his dad, and that's what a lot of people are not talking about, and I find that kind of interesting. I mean, the report was there that his dad got sick, but no one's mentioning that. I think that's real, man. I think more than anything else, I think that's real, and it would make sense to push it till September.
The time frame, I don't know if it fits, because that was a month ago. It was on May 16th that he had that the report of his heart attack came out, and the conference, like Dave said, got canceled like 10 days ago. So there's still like 20 days in between.
Yeah,
but maybe
we don't know.
I don't know. Like just before, I don't know. You see, this is the first I hear about his dad. I didn't even hear about it before, and in my head, I'm going, just before the press conference, there was a lot of pictures of Conor in the club and things like that also. So like maybe his dad affected and all that. I agree, but at the same time, I think he was still living his life.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna still speculate with the injury. That's, I think, the most logical.
I don't think it really matters. I think the fact of the matter is this: we can safely say here, 2 weeks away, just over 2 weeks away from UFC 303, it's not going to be Conor. We're going to wait again. We're still waiting, and at this point, he's pulling out of this fight. This fight is not happening. All signs pointing to that. Does he show up in August? Does he show up in September? Does something else happen? You start to wonder. We've been wondering for so long, was he ever going to fight Michael Chandler? When they actually announced this fight, we were surprised. We're like, oh, Conor is fighting again? That's interesting. He's actually going to fight Chandler.
I hope.
And now,
I hope
now he's pulling out of the fight. You know what I mean, Fred? Like, who knows if Conor ever fights, and Chandler's still waiting.
I hope Chandler has some insurance or something, some guarantees that there's some money coming in, because, man, this guy is losing 2 years of his career, and there's no money coming in right now from fighting anyways. So that must be disappointing.
It's rough for Chandler. Conor's rich as hell, so who knows? But it's definitely big news right now, and, I think since last week, every day we've been kind of waiting and speculating. But today, when Helwani is reporting all this stuff, like, it's not coming from nowhere, After seeing that, it makes me think, okay, there's some fire to this smoke here. Something's going on, and there's not going to be a fight. Today is the first day.
Yeah, but it's still not official.
Since it's been announced, where I'm pretty confident this fight is not happening. I was starting to wonder after that press conference thing, like, it's not going well, and most people were starting to wonder. And today, at this point, a week later, right? Like last week, AJ, we're kind of like, maybe, you never know. But 7 days later, I'm pretty well, like 99% sure Conor's not fighting here. And now I'm starting to wonder again, like, does this dude ever fight again? So,
look, last week we were saying it's probably like the show, right? We were like thinking that it's part of the game. He's doing the Ryan Garcia thing, man. He's just like hyping it up WWE style and whatnot. And it's still a possibility, because all this is still rumors, man. Even though Ariel has like some pretty deep connections in the MMA world, I mean, he does cover up a lot of facts, but they're not always like accurate. And you don't know, because if anything is going to be known, it's going to be Dana White coming out and saying, listen, man, the Conor fight is canceled. That's how it's going to work. Until Dana White comes out and says it's canceled, I'm thinking it's still on, and I think it's still the Conor show. Until Dana comes out, this is the Conor show, man. He's making everybody hang on the edge, man, and that's typical Conor. So I'm still not convinced that he's not fighting. I'm still like thinking this is part of the Conor show.
You want to bet?
Look, until Dana White comes out, man, and he's not going to wait too long, Dana. He's just going to try to build up a card that's going to make sense for people to buy if it's not. But
Dana will lie to us until he has another solution.
Mm-hmm.
And even after that, he'll
Yeah,
still
the-
lie to us.
Look, if he could get Volkanovski in there, he could get like, you know, some of the big names that you had
Here's
mentioned
the-
earlier. Then it makes sense.
A couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if there was any merit to that rumor or whatever, but when it started, when Conor missed the conference early on, some people were saying they should have tried to do like the BMF. You do Chandler versus Holloway.
Yeah.
That could have been maybe interesting.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of fights out there for Chandler right now.
Is there a fight out there that could sell more pay-per-views than Conor McGregor?
No, of course not.
Not really.
I don't think so.
Unless
I
John
don't think
Jones
so.
decides to come and fight.
Maybe
mean,
John
other
Jones,
than
but
that-
even then, I think Conor still sells more. It's a big hit.
You saw Conor. He
It
was
is a big
laughing
hit.
at Islam and Poirier because they sold 500K pay-per-views supposedly. Anyways, according to Conor, and
Yeah.
to him that was funny. So
Yeah, well, it
Conor's
is
still
funny.
Connor's still the big draw.
I was talking last week about how it'll be real interesting how they market Islam Makhachev versus Armin Sarukian. You see, I had to struggle for his name. That's not a good sign. So that's going to be the
Nope.
next fight for the lightweight title. Nobody's buying that on pay-per-view, dude. Nobody. Like, it's cool. Islam's cool for the hardcore MMA fans, but, like, that Islam-Dustin fight got people talking, maybe sold 500,000 because people, you know, like Dustin Poirier, but Islam Makhachev, he doesn't have a huge fan base, and then him against a guy no one's ever heard of in Armin Sarukian, who people know is like, that's a tough fight, that's a legit fight, but they're gonna have to do a
doesn't sell.
number on that undercard to make that a main event and sell pay-per-views. Big time. So UFC getting some bad news this week, just bad. So Conor McGregor probably out of his fight. You know who else is definitely out of his fight? Khamzat Chimaev. Apparently he's very sick.
What?
He's like very ill.
Again?
He's in the hospital. I don't know what he's got, but he's very
COVID.
sick. It's not like an injury. He's got an illness.
You see, AJ,
That's
you
not
just
good.
surprised me. I thought AJ was gonna say staff for sure, but no, he went to COVID.
Hey,
you know
what?
His other Joker card.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the illness is with Khamzat, but he's not doing well, so we wish him well. But he is out of his fight that was supposed to take place next week, guys. Next week, the 22nd of June, was supposed to be Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whittaker. Finally, we were going to see Khamzat Chimaev against a legitimate middleweight, a former champion, to see if he could be the phenom that he appears to be when he appears. He seems amazing, but it's just not clear if he's a top 10, top 5 middleweight or a title challenger. His fights are exciting. He's got a fan base. He seems like a star in the UFC, but we just can't get him in those big fights. And now, you know, he pulls out again. It's just a bunch of missed opportunities. When he first came on the scene, everybody was real hyped about Khamzat. He was fighting every couple of weeks. He was just crushing people, talking trash. It was fun. And since then, it's slowed down. He's not fought very often. This was the big fight where if he wins, he gets a title shot at the middleweight champion, even though, I mean, he fought Kamaru Usman. He was supposed to fight Paulo Costa, who's like a legit top 10, top 15 middleweight. And, you know, Costa had to pull out of that fight. So instead, he fought Usman, who's really a 170 fighter who came in on short notice and fought him at 185. So we still haven't really seen Khamzat against a middleweight fighter. And the UFC, because of the hype and because of the excitement, they were willing to give this guy a title shot at middleweight after one big win at 185 pounds. But he can't show up to this Robert Whittaker fight because he's sick. So instead, it's Ikram Aliskerov, who is not as fun a name as Khamzat Chimaev. He's just not as exciting. He's won 7 in a row, But his last fight that he lost was against Khamzat Chimaev, where he got knocked out and smashed, and. But he's
that
good,
was a long time ago.
It was a long time, but still, Fred, you know what
And
I
you
mean?
know
We
what?
wanted to see Khamzat.
wait.
Like, I get it. Ikram is good, but Khamzat is the guy we wanted to see here against Whitaker, and it just feels like we keep getting teased with these Khamzat fights where it's like, ooh, this is going to be a real test. Maybe you'll get a title shot, and then it doesn't happen.
But that's on you, Dave. You're putting the expectations for Khamzat. I've been off the Khamzat bandwagon for a while, man. This guy, like at the beginning, he was like a welterweight, and I'm like, all right, at welterweight he could be a challenger. But then at middleweight, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of big guys there, and like you say, he's fought a welterweight at middleweight. So for right now, he's been canceling so many fights. I'm a little bit off the bandwagon, and I'll say one thing about Aliskarov. Yeah, you're right. He lost to Khamzat, but with everything that's happened in the last couple of years, Aliskarov might be the better fighter of the two right now, man. This guy's a legit fighter. His last win, I forget against who it was, but it was impressive. And this guy's gonna give a good fight to Whitaker. Whitaker has a lot to lose here because Khamzat's a bigger name, but Aliskarov is just as dangerous.
Yeah, he's dangerous. He's a good fight, but it's not exciting, and he's taking it on short notice. Although he was supposed to fight, I think, this
he had
weekend.
Another fight.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight this weekend, so instead he's fighting next weekend. He's just fighting Whitaker instead, and in the main event, I think it'll be a 5-rounder, probably.
Bigger fight. If he wins against Whitaker, it brings him to title picture right away.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something, Dave. You know what it reminds me of, Khamzat? Like, I hope he doesn't go the same route as our, really talented guy that I was looking forward to going really far in the UFC was Zabit the Rabbit.
He quit. He went to become a doctor or something.
Issues.
He's like not in MMA anymore.
No, but the real reason for him stopping initially was because of like these health issues that just like creeped up on him. I mean, we'll see what happens with Khamzat, but he's in bed. There's pictures of him in bed. I mean, it's obviously something serious. It could be like staph. Like I said, staph will keep you in bed, man, for a long period of time. So Freddie has a point there. I was joking with the COVID thing, but the staph stuff could be the factual stuff that can keep a fighter out, depending where it is on the body.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know exactly what's wrong with him, but it's just unfortunate that, he seems like a star in the making in the UFC, and then the fights just aren't happening when they should for him, and the opportunities are getting missed here. This is a missed opportunity for Khamzat Chimaev because a win would have got him a title shot. And now Whitaker, a win might get him a title shot. We'll see.
And
I don't know. I don't know what the UFC does now. I think they were promising both guys a title shot. If Whitaker beats Aliskarov, does he get a title shot?
Man, it's weird, man, because you have that opportunity to be at the top of the game, to make the most money, and then unfortunate things happen, and all of a sudden you get pushed to the side. We looked at Tony Ferguson in his career. When he was going up against Khabib, man, the guy he lost 3 opportunities, and pretty much that was the end of Tony Ferguson. Yeah, we're gonna see him fight again soon, but it's not the same Tony, man. It's there's always the mystique that's pulled away from you, and let's hope it doesn't happen to Khamzat.
As far as the middleweight title picture, I would think Sean Strickland has to be in advance with in the rankings because he has a win over Whitaker, and Whitaker is taking a lower ranked fighter. So to me, Sean Strickland should be the number 1 contender.
Yeah.
There's always Izzy maybe in the discussion, but to me, it's Strickland. His last fight was very impressive.
Yeah, Strickland said that he's just going to wait now for a title shot, and I think that's the move because I think he should be next in line. Unless Adesanya comes out of, semi-retirement, whatever, and then you do the Dricus fight, but Strickland can wait and take on the winner of that. I think they're going to do Israel versus Dricus. They seem to, be working on making that fight. I think that's the move, and then Strickland would just fight the winner. I think you're right. And this Khamzat thing, I think it makes it more clear that Strickland is the guy. Because if Khamzat's not around and Whitaker's fighting Aliskarov, it's kind of like, all right, let's stick with Sean Strickland, who took Dricus to the limit, fought a very close fight that some people thought Strickland won, comes back, has another impressive fight after that, gets a win. Like, Strickland is still one of the best middleweights in the world, and I think he's right up there as far as next in line.
And he fills seats, Dave. That's another thing.
Of course, man.
That's
He's
the
a
thing with
star.
Strickland.
He's a
fills
UFC
seats.
star. Yeah. You know,
He
I'm
is,
not
man.
the biggest
Win or
Sean
lose,
Strickland
man.
fan, but the guy is definitely a star. He's
But
a
he's
draw.
on you.
He's a top
he's growing
fighter.
on you.
He's really good. He's good at MMA.
But he's growing on you, Dave. Let's be honest, man. You're more excited to see him. Like, sometimes he says crazy shit. You're like, it's pretty funny.
He's
But
amusing.
That's the thing with Strickland.
He's amusing.
You need guys like that because he turns the wheel, man, and he feet in the seats, and he gets the pay-per-view points, and people, like, he has a great following, just like the Diaz brothers, man. This is what I like about Strickland. Win or lose, people come and see. More people want to see this guy. That's the thing, and I hope we see more of Strickland in the future.
I think we will, AJ. We will see more of
I
Sean
hope so,
Strickland.
man.
Shout out to Angelo Contagones, Miss Brooklyn Lizard,
Angelo!
CSL Lorne. Angelo and Lorne, of course, members of the team over at join.ringsidereport.net. You can support over at join.ringsidereport.net and membership.ringsidereport.net, or just scan that QR code on the screen. Open up that QR code that you see on your screen right now, and that will take you to where you need to go to support the Ringside Report Network. We're here every Thursday and Friday night, and then, of course, on the weekends for all the UFC action and all the pro wrestling action. I'll be here tomorrow night to preview WWE's Clash at the Castle, and then we'll be on Saturday afternoon, early evening, to recap WWE's Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre in Scotland against Damian Priest for the WWE's World Championship. So that'll be big.
Excalibur time.
I'm looking forward to it. Will we see a title change? I feel like I'm more excited than everybody else about this match, and I don't really know why. It's like, I'm really excited. I'm like, wow, what are they going to do here? Like, they booked themselves into a real interesting spot. And they can't give me a non-finish. It's in Scotland. Like, is Drew going to take the belt? How does he not? How does he not? I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated with what the WWE's put together this weekend. The rest of the card is kind of, not so great. But the main event, Drew and Damian Priest,
when is that?
an interesting
Saturday?
one. Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m.
There's a Polaris grappling event also on Saturday. Yoel Romero is fighting. I forget somebody.
Ooh, that's
It's
fun.
on Fight Pass.
That's nice.
Yeah, who is he fighting, man? That's right. I
Oh,
mean, there's a
UFC
lot of
Fight
things
Pass?
happening on Saturday. But I'll be watching something else, my friend. The
I know
Euro
what you're-
starts.
I know what you're watching.
Exactly.
Owen Livesey?
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
Owen Livesey, a judo
Against Yoel Romero.
champion. Yeah.
So was
Judo
Yoel
champion
Romero.
Owen Livesey in a grappling match at the Polaris this weekend. AJ, are you watching what I think you're watching this weekend? Are you watching boxing?
Damn right. What boxing? I'm watching the Euro, man. Italy against Albania at 3 p.m., man, Eastern
Oh.
time.
I
but I
didn't
will
know
be
the Euro
watching
started
boxing
this
too.
weekend. The Euro starts this weekend?
Man,
Tomorrow.
What?
Germany's playing tomorrow.
yes, sir.
Wow. When
Yeah.
is France playing?
You
I'm
better
not
bring out-
sure.
France.
France?
What about France? Is France
By the
really
way,
France?
Wait. I think we should sing "Oh Canada" because we got a draw against France.
Really?
0-0.
That's
That's
right.
pathetic.
Way to go, Freddie.
happened?
Good. I forgot about that. Bravo.
And
Monday.
even and so like the
Austria.
Euro is starting, but in a week Copa America is also starting, and it's a special Copa America. Canada's in it, there, and so is the U.S. with all the South American teams. And the first match of the tournament is Canada against Argentina. So like
Whoa.
It's gonna be crazy.
you'll have like 5 soccer matches a day for a couple of days for a
Wow.
while. So
It's a lot
gonna
of
be
soccer
wild.
going on.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, Freddie, the finals fall on the same day, right?
around, I'm not sure. So
Yeah, I
France
think
plays
it's
on
supposed
Monday,
to.
Dave.
Yes.
3 p.m. against Austria.
Yes, I'm seeing that. And then their second game will be next Friday against the Netherlands, and then they finish their group stage against Poland on the 25th of June.
But when is
Exciting.
Italy
It's gonna be
playing
crazy,
Spain?
man.
Italy, Spain
Italy's
is
playing
going to
Spain
be on
The Thursday.
June 20th.
Wow. That's a big game. That's good.
Yeah, they're in the same group
Wow.
with
Tough.
Croatia and
Viva
Albania.
España.
Croatia.
Come
Wow.
on, Italy. Yeah, we got
Okay.
like some tough opponents, man. And you
I
can't
thought you
knock
were
out
going to be
Albania as well.
watching boxing, AJ, because there's a boxing match this weekend. I don't know if you were aware. A big boxing match
Ooh.
in Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
Real? It's this weekend?
It is this weekend. It is Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen in a boxing ring. This
Yeah, what
weekend.
time is that at?
I'm not sure. I think
Sometime in the
it's
afternoon?
I think it's at night.
If it's at night, man, for sure I'm going to watch it. Like the Euro is going to be at 3, be done around 5 Eastern time. Italy just has to wrap up Albania. Sorry, Albanian fans, man, but, AJ is going to have to go with, red, white, and green there. Even Angelo's going for the Italian team. I know that.
Really?
Yeah,
Why
I'm
isn't
just
he
taking a
going
wild
for
guess.
Greece is not in it?
I know Johnny is. Greece. Yeah, Greece.
That's too bad.
They were close.
I'm not sure what time this thing's on or even how to watch it.
Or even if it's going to take place.
I know how to watch it.
Yeah, internet. Yeah, I think it's on DAZN. No, I don't even know, honestly.
Dazen.
I know it's on Globo in Brazil, but I have no idea if you'll be able to watch it here in North America. But that's happening this weekend. Chael and Anderson. I'm going to go with Anderson for the win, I think, quite obviously. Other boxing news, AJ, your favorite, Jake Paul, will be boxing in July, not against Mike Tyson, against another Mike.
Who is it this time?
Perry.
Michael Perry?
Mike Perry from Bare Knuckle Boxing.
Well, that's not a good fight for Jake Paul to take, I'll tell you, man.
Yes, he beat up your boy Luke Rockhold pretty good when they did bare knuckle boxing against each other. Mike Perry's the bare knuckle boxing champion, former UFC fighter, and a guy that's been doing very, very well in bare knuckle boxing. He's going to do a boxing match, a straight up boxing match with gloves on against Jake Paul in July. And then they're saying that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul will still box in November. They have pushed the date. They announced a date. I think it's November 5th or something. So they're doing a November fight. So they are assuming that Jake Paul is going to walk out, be okay in July after the Perry fight, and then fight Mike Tyson a few months later, which I think is risky. It's always risky to book 2 fights. I think you book 1 fight at a time. I don't think you ever schedule 2 fights because it's just like, I don't know. I think mentally it's weird. It's just not something that people do normally. They usually kind of do 1 at a time. So I would,
Tyson Fury kind of did that with Ngannou, right?
Didn't work.
It worked against Ngannou, and it didn't work after that. But,
it didn't really work for him against Ngannou because he kind of almost lost that fight. The judges gave it to him, but really, did he win? And then when he fought Usyk, he got beat up pretty bad. So it worked terribly for Tyson Fury. I don't know if you've seen Tyson Fury lately. He's falling down outside of bars. He's just getting wasted. I hope he's okay,
Did you see
honestly.
that,
I'm concerned for Tyson Fury because now that the boxing career seems like maybe it's winding down and totally over, he's had some mental health issues. Like, I really hope he's okay. Because seeing him, like, people are laughing, like, oh, Tyson Fury's at a bar, cracking, falling down. It's like, dude, this guy could be going downhill.
First into the sidewalk.
He's got like 10 kids, too. He's got to take it easy.
But he's got an automatic rematch clause, man. I think it's already, like, pretty much set for December.
I'm going with Usyk. I think, how could you not after that? I don't know. Well, I wish him the best.
It's not looking
I hope Fury
too good
wins.
for Tyson Fury, like kissing pavement, man.
Yeah, it didn't look good. I hope he wins, though,
Tyson
because
Fury,
I think he needs boxing more than Usyk does. I think Fury needs boxing to stay.
Does he have that many kids?
Well, I don't know if it's 10, but he's got a ton. He's got like 4 or 5 at least, I'd say.
Kind of like Evander. I think Evander has a whole bunch of kids, too.
Yeah. But Fury, it's all with the same
it's not easy,
woman.
man. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I watched their TV show on
Mazel tov to
Netflix. It
him.
was pretty good. The Fury reality show was good. You learn about Tyson Fury. I liked it. You guys watching The Ultimate Fighter? I think it's on right now. It's on these days. Do you know who's coaching?
Apparently, it's supposed to be good.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I couldn't tell you who's coaching.
Wow. AJ, don't look it up, motherfucker. What are you doing?
I'm looking it up.
Isn't it the
I'm looking
girls?
up. I know it's the 2 girls.
Yes.
Yes.
Which one, though?
It's
Apparently it's supposed to
Valentina
be good.
and Grasso.
Yeah, Grasso. That's it. Yeah, I forgot who it was, but yeah, it's Valentina. I mean, apparently it's supposed to be. I got some feedback that it started pretty good. Like, I gotta watch it. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna tune in at some point. I just haven't yet. But it's Valentina and Alexa Grasso, and I'm interested. I like them both. They're gonna have a rematch at some point. Of course, Grasso won the first one. They had a draw in the rematch, and now they're gonna have a third straight fight here against each other, which is kind of fun. And there's fights this weekend too in the UFC. Should we do a quick preview here? Check out what's going on
do it, man.
in the UFC.
Let's get some money for our network, man.
Tatsuro Taira from Japan. The great Japanese
15
hope.
and 0, man.
He is the great hope
man.
of Japanese MMA. And, you know,
Miyamoto Musashi.
there's such a rich history of Japanese fighters in MMA through the years. So many greats. You know, you think of the Sakurabas. You think of course, Yushin Okami when he was fighting in the UFC. Like, there are so many really solid Japanese MMA fighters, such love for MMA in Japan, such a history with pride, and so many MMA organizations throughout the years in Japan. It's nice to see somebody from Japan still fighting at a very high level here in the UFC, because we don't see it very often, where I feel like in the earlier days of MMA, for a while there, for the, you know, I'd say for the first 10, 15, 20 years of MMA, you'd see a Japanese guy on every card. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, they had their guys. You know, there was, what was that guy? He fought at like 125. Kid Yamamoto. You know what I mean? That guy was badass. Kyle Uno. Like, Shin Aoki, one of my favorites, was Shin Aoki. You know, like guys like that.
Minowa man.
Yeah, Ikuhisa
That was the
Minawa,
pride days, the guy
Minawa
that would
man.
fight
That guy
all the
was
giants.
amazing. Yo, they had great fighters in Japan. There were some great Japanese fighters. And to see a guy from Japan headlining a UFC show, it's like, yeah, all right, let's go. Japan is still relevant in MMA. Japan is back. It's nice for them. It's nice to see, because they have such a rich history. It's kind of like, you know, if we stop seeing Brazilians in the UFC, you'd be like, what happened? You know, like they're still there. You know what I mean? Like pretty much every UFC card still, from the beginning to this day, you're seeing a couple of Brazilians on that show. You know, you're not seeing a Canadian on every UFC card, but pretty much every UFC show, there's a guy or two from Brazil, right? And it used to be that way with Japan, but now it isn't so much anymore. I don't know what happened, but
Okami.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's just like Tatsuro's fighting a Brazilian right now. So it's going back to the early rivalry between like the Gracies, you know, and Kimura. So
This guy's
like,
not Brazilian, dude. This guy's American. Alex Perez is Taira's opponent, born in Hanford, California, an American wrestler.
Yeah, but his background. Yeah, but he's
Mexican
he's
descent.
Brazilian
Mexican. He's a Mexican
man.
descent.
Alex Perez. I think he's Brazilian, dude. Just check it a little bit further, man.
Yeah, I'm looking.
No.
It says he's of Mexican descent with 8 siblings. His 2 brothers, Silverio Esparza and Julian Perez. He is Mexican-American, AJ. He's not Brazilian. Sorry.
Yeah, I heard that he was Brazilian as well, but I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Well, you are wrong. So you should think so. Because,
Well, what I'm not wrong is that it's a big step up for Tatsuro, man. Because if you look
you
at
don't
this
even
guy,
know who he's fighting. How you talking about
like,
step up? You don't know who this guy is.
yeah, well, I thought he was. I'm still saying that he's like there's some Brazilian in him.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight for him, man. Big step up, 15-0. It's gonna be an interesting fight.
It's a big fight. I like to see it. I have been, impressed with Taira. I really like his style. And he's coming in right now
Yep.
as the favorite, I believe. Let me get you those odds. We're going to give you parlays. AJ and I had parlays last week that lost because we suck at parlays. We're still going to give you one, though, tonight.
You were close, man.
AJ's really bad at parlays. Tatsuro Taira, minus 190, the favorite
what are you
going in
about, motherfucker?
against
I lost by
the American, Alex Perez. Plus 160, the underdog.
Brazilian.
He's American.
Listen, man, this guy's had a lot of fights, man. When you look at this is his third fight in over 3 months. One thing with Alex Perez, he's like always ready to go. So this could be interesting. It's going to be a big fight for Tatsuro, but if you're looking at who's like fight ready, man, Perez is pretty on the ball here.
Tatsuro Taira, 24 years old, 15-0 as a professional, carrying a 5-0 record in the UFC into this fight. Perez, 32 years old, has won his last fight coming off a knockout victory, but before that lost 3 in a row. This is a fight at 125 pounds, headlining at the Apex this Saturday. We also have other fights on this card. Nothing really nothing that impressive
really
on this card.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Yeah, it's awful. 6 out of the 10 main card fighters don't have a Wikipedia page, and that's always my barometer.
Yeah, these are all.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Bunch of no-name fighters that I can't really place. I could not tell you who any of these people are on this card. Past the main event, where AJ thinks the guy's Brazilian,
And he's not, because I Googled and
yeah,
he's really Mexican.
You sure,
no,
man?
he's not.
He's Mexican
Positive.
for sure.
Okay, I heard
AJ.
that he was. No, I mean he has a Mexican name, but I was pretty sure that he had some Brazilian influence.
I have an article,
but I could be wrong.
I have an article here that says Alex Perez ethnicity, all about the UFC star's parents, and if you read it, they're Mexican.
Okay. So, but what I'm going to be right about is, if you look at the two, listen, one thing I'll be right about is reach. Look at his reach. He's 177 centimeters to Alex Perez at 166. So if it's like, the striking.
What are the odds? I don't even see
Tatsuro
them
has
on Bet99.
I have him. Taira minus 190, Perez plus 160.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Perez.
Interesting.
Boom.
Oh, what?
I got Perez. Oh, yeah, I got Perez.
Fred.
He's more active, Dave. But it's the reach, Freddie. Don't forget that reach, man, from Tatsuro, man.
I mean,
that's a
Taira's
pretty long
bunch
reach.
of no names.
Yeah.
He's young.
Yeah. I think this is his fight.
Very exciting MMA fighter. Yeah, I think so too.
I like Taira in this one.
I mean, if he was Brazilian, I'd probably have more confidence. But now, I have to give it to Tatsuro.
I'm trying to give you a parlay here, but there's really nothing on this thing.
I don't have a parlay.
Well,
There is
something.
nothing.
Give something, Dave.
Put
There's
some money on
nothing
Alex
here.
Perez, underdog.
Fred's going with the underdog and Alex Perez. I'm going to give you something. I want to give you something, but I really am struggling to find. Okay, I'm giving you Tatsuro Taira and another fight. I think I'm going to go with Oh, God. These fights are all so terrible. This is an awful card.
It's
Who the
a
hell
hard
are
one,
these
too.
people? Weston Wilson versus Jekka Saragi. Who the hell are these people? Who's Jekka Saragi? Let me tell you. Jekka Saragi is 14-3 featherweight from a country, Indonesia. Who will win
How
between
many-
Jekka Saragi and, I'm going to say not Jekka Saragi.
Is he the first Indonesian fighter in the UFC? I
He
can't
might be.
remember another-
I think he might be. And, like, who's he training with? You know what I mean? 14-3. He's won a fight, or a couple fights in the UFC. He's won in that road to UFC thing. Okay, what are the odds on the Jekka Saragi? All right, well, screw it. I'm going against the Jek. I'm going with Weston Wilson. Although that name sounds jabroni-ish so hard. Like if WWE was coming up for a jabroni name, they'd call him Weston Wilson.
Double
Hard to
W.
bet on Weston Wilson. But I'm going to do it anyways. Screw it. Okay? We're going to cash in huge with this crazy parlay that I'm giving you. It's a 2-fight parlay. It's based on the fact that I don't know. I'm starting to buy into Weston Wilson now. Weston Wilson, the American. Plus 275. Tatsuro Taira, minus 190. 20 gets you 114.47 at bet99.com. That's my parlay. AJ, do you have anything better? Fred is not even giving us a parlay because this card sucks so bad.
He's got to.
No, he doesn't
gotta
have to.
do something.
No. Well, okay, Fred, you
Said
have
Alex
to.
Perez.
No, but that's one fight. Give me another one.
Alex Perez.
Alex Perez and who?
Alex Perez.
How about
Bet him
Timothy
twice.
Angel
Bet him twice.
Kuwamba?
Bet
Wamba,
twice on
that's not a
Alex
bad
Perez.
choice.
How about Jose Johnson? No, Jose. How about Tagir Ulanbekov? I think Tagir Ulanbekov beats Joshua Van. I think that's a good one. You can go with Tagir minus 220. Fred's not doing it. Okay, AJ, what do you have for me? Fred's just refusing.
Yeah,
Fuck
let me
it.
just. It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, it's a garbage fight card with a bunch of guys we never heard of.
Well, go with like the prelims. I usually don't start with the prelims, so I'm going with the best possible picks for a win here. So I'm gonna go with Joshua Van if he's still on the card against Tagir.
He's
I
going to
think
lose.
Joshua Van
Van.
at 10-1.
Tagir is winning for sure. Didn't you just hear me talk about Tagir? Okay, fine, whatever. Give me the rest of
Yeah.
your parlay. I don't care.
I'm
AJ.
going with Josh, man.
Hey,
That's
Dave,
what I
here's
had
my
circled
parlay.
earlier.
On the prelims, I pick
What?
every underdog to win.
Oh, okay, cool.
There you go,
Thanks.
Dave.
I rather AI AJ. He's more succinct.
Jimmy Flick is in the fight. At least there's a Flick in there.
Okay, Jiminy Glick, are you taking him or what? Who are you
No,
taking
I'm
on
not
your
going with
goddamn
Jimmy.
parlay? Are you giving
Well,
me
I'm
picks or are
taking
you just like talking?
Van,
Joshua
Van,
Anybody else?
Silva de Andrade.
Douglas Silva de Andrade plus 115 to beat Miles Johns, okay?
Timmy Kuwamba. I'm taking
Timothy
Kuwamba, like you
Angel
said earlier.
Kuwamba, okay? Minus
The Angel,
190
man.
to beat Lucas Almeida.
I think the time against the fight is off, if I'm correct.
I don't know.
Off
You're
the-
glitching out. I don't know what the hell you just said. What?
So I'm going to go with Suro.
Okay. He's going with Tatsuro Taira, minus 190.
Welcome.
Is that your parlay? Are you done?
Yep, man, that's
God.
it. That's it. What's up, Ryan?
Unbelievable. Okay. Here's AJ's
That's what she
parlay.
Said.
What? Here's AJ's parlay. It is this. It is Joshua Van plus 180, Douglas Silva de Andrade plus 115, Timothy Angel Kuwamba minus 190, and Tatsuro Taira minus 190. 4-fight parlay for this UFC Fight Night. 20 gets you 280.49 at bet99.com. It ain't happening.
Man. What, you don't know that? What are you, man?
I do know
The
that.
Grim Reaper, man, of like betting?
Yes. I'm the Grim Reaper of betting.
Listen,
just
man,
happened?
These are the
Something
shitty
just
cards. What happened?
You
There
know
is
what
a
happened.
storm like Montreal here.
Is there a storm a brewing? Maybe that's why you're glitching out on me. Antoinette, gifting memberships. Thank you, Antoinette. Gifting a membership on the YouTube channel to Ryan Harwood.
Antoinette.
Welcome, Ryan. Thank you, Antoinette. longtime member of the channel, longtime supporter. Thank you, Antoinette. And Johnny
Thank
North
you,
in the
Antoinette.
chat.
Antoinette's the best.
Johnny North in the chat
Johnny!
today, gloating about the Yankees losing 4-3 in a close one this afternoon to the Kansas City Royals. Yeah, I mean, they still took 3 out of 4 from the Royals, and Johnny North is a Red Sox fan, and the Red Sox absolutely suck. So you really shouldn't be gloating for one loss for the Yankees when they win pretty much all the other games they play.
But Dave,
Yeah?
baseball had its highlight of the year this week. Did you see it?
Was it a home run that Aaron Judge hit?
No, it was the guy that was running on the field, the fan that got tased.
Yes, I did see that.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
That was pretty. Those pictures were pretty cool.
Yeah.
Poor guy, man. And I don't know how I feel about it, because I feel like if you're just going to run on the field, man, yeah, you should be brought to jail. But should you be tased? I'm not sure how I feel about that one. But the pictures were really cool.
Yeah.
That's the guy who did the backflip, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then got immediately
you go,
tased.
man.
It was pretty funny.
That's awesome. That's
happens.
the way you do it, man. If you're gonna
Yeah,
go out,
you
you go out in
shouldn't,
style.
Don't go on the field, okay? Don't go on the field. It's not smart. Don't do that.
You got it. You know how many people are gonna run on the Euro, man? The Euro's starting tomorrow. I guarantee we should have like a bet going, like how many games in before someone runs on the field naked. Guaranteed, it's
They
gonna
don't
happen.
even show it. They don't even show it, so you won't even
Yeah,
know.
I know.
Most
but
of
you're
the time
about
they ignore it.
You shouldn't do that. Shout out to Leor. Leor in the house as well, member of the team over at join.ringsidereport.net. Johnny North excited about the Boston Celtics, a game away from winning the NBA
Hey,
championship.
hold on a sec.
Oh, yeah,
Johnny
I'm big
should be
on the
excited about
Celtics,
one
man.
thing.
Yeah.
Listen, Johnny, just talk about Johnny. I had like a guy come into my workplace who's a huge fan of Johnny that went to go see him last weekend and said like Johnny's wrestling match was, I think it was the main event. And he was like, he's like all into the Johnny thing and he wants an autograph from Johnny. He actually came up to me and was like, you think you can get Johnny, an autograph from me? And I said, yeah, I will, bud. So Johnny's very well liked, man.
We
and
know
I was
Johnny.
surprised these people like, man. But I didn't know this guy knows Johnny. I mean, I only met him a few times. But Johnny's a big
great
celebrity,
wrestler.
man.
Yeah, of course. He's a
He
great
is.
wrestler. Very famous. He's Johnny North. Everybody knows
So
him.
Johnny, get me your Hancock, man. Your Johnny Hancock.
John, AJ wants some
don't know
of your
that?
cock. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure he'd probably want that too. But listen, you don't know what the Johnny Hancock is?
I know what you're
It's
talking
the
about.
autograph?
Yes.
I don't think Freddie did.
Do you know where it comes from?
It's Quebecois. See, they don't know
Do you know
that.
where it comes from, AJ?
Is that what Dark Vader does when he uses the Force?
The Johnny Hancock.
Do you
They
know
won't
why?
know, but I don't think so. No,
You
and
know-
why?
You don't know where that comes from, John Hancock? You just think it means signature
term,
and that's all
man.
it means?
Well, I'm sure it comes from something, man. So inform us, O wise one.
He was a guy who signed the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should have guessed.
And he signed
So,
it all
there you
like
go, Johnny.
fancy so people like see his name. So that's like the John Hancock.
There you go.
I've seen the Declaration of Independence in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, not really, but it exists. It's a thing. America. History. Okay? That's right. Salute
There
me.
you go, Freddie.
Hope
That's
you're
the way you
saluting
do
me
it.
right
See,
now.
me and Freddie at the same time, we salute. It wasn't
Yeah.
even planned.
Yeah. Yeah.
True patriots right here, man.
Yep. I know AJ's very excited. Your
There you
boy
go,
Donald
Freddie.
Trump is on your boy Logan Paul's podcast, blowing up the internet.
Was he?
So, yes.
I didn't know that. I got to watch
I
it
know
now.
you're going
Thanks
to go
for telling
watch
me.
that right away. I know you're excited about that.
Meanwhile,
Trump and
Joe
Logan
Biden
Paul
looks
together.
like
Huh?
Meanwhile, Joe Biden looks like an old man that's frozen and being awakened here and there.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Trump doesn't look
He looks
good.
great, Dave. Don't start pulling
Yeah,
out some stuff.
At least he's
No, what are you
able
talking
to.
about?
He's able to have a conversation.
I mean, in
can walk
comparison
up
to
and- he can
Biden,
walk
he
up and
might
down the
look
stairs.
more coherent. But, like,
What are you
for a
talking about? He looks
person-
younger than he did.
for a human being, he looks kind of odd.
No,
No?
not
Am
really.
I
I mean,
wrong?
he looks
Am
the
I-
same as he did back.
Am I off base here? Have you seen the guy's hair?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's kind of
pretty
been the
much.
joke about him forever. That's been acceptable. I don't know why that's not anymore. I don't really know. He's kind of looks weird. He's got the weird hair. He's a strange color orange.
This is Fabio hair.
Dave, I'm sending you a Biden video from this week,
I'm
and
not
I don't know if
talking
you've
about-
seen this.
Oh my god.
But man, this is like the worst
Biden-
robot ever.
Is this where where he walks away from a group of people and they have to kind of wrangle him back?
No, they're all standing, and he's the only one not moving, and it's like creepy.
Oh, I saw
he's
that.
not moving at all.
Oh wow. Maybe they have a robot for him now though. Maybe they just send
Could
out the
be, man.
Biden
Could
bot.
be a stand-in. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a stand-in. You never know, man. They've
He
got
needs to
plenty of those.
reboot every once in a while, so you just, you know, I can see that.
I'll tell you, man.
Come on, man. The U.S. military has unbelievable technology. You're saying they couldn't make a Biden bot? I bet you they could.
Look,
Just for
we have
appearances
an
and shit.
AI
He's back at the
AJ.
White House just chilling, and they send out the robot. Send out the Biden bot. He doesn't want to go meet these, kids or whatever.
I want a Freddy bot then.
Yeah, I want a Dave bot. I'd send him to do my bidding. Take over
I want
the
a
world.
Pamela Anderson bot. Screw that, man.
Yeah, see, different purposes, AJ. Different purposes. I want the bot
sure
to
more
go
would
and
agree
do the
with me,
things
man.
that I do, except I don't have to do them. And I could just chill out. All right. What's happening now? Those are edited videos, apparently. They're doctored. They're not even real, some of these
Nah,
Biden
they're
videos.
not. That's what
I'm
they
being
always say,
told.
man. Anytime they falter, man, it's always edited.
All right. AJ is not
I
really
believe in Freddie.
AJ's not really
I
the
believe in
wisest
Freddie.
when it comes to like editing and stuff. He's not really the most.
That's true. You got a
you know,
point
you get
there.
you get fooled pretty easily, AJ.
I did get fooled a few times, man. You're right.
I send a video of it of myself, and my face is turned into a hot dog. He's like, Dave, what happened? Your face is a hot dog. How'd you do that? And I'm like, it's a filter, dude. It's a filter. Don't worry.
The best was the one of the genie. That was the best one. I actually saved it, which I might repost maybe this week. I love the Dave Genie thing. That was
I
the
don't know
best.
what that
so I
is.
will repost it
Don't
this
repost
week.
it.
Oh, you'll remember. I reposted Dave. It was a classic. It's up.
I'll send you a new one.
A new technology.
Yeah, I've got
Send
all
it,
sorts
bud.
of new technology. You know, I've got an app that can make Donald Trump say whatever you want.
Really? Tell him
Yeah.
to send money to Ringside Report. How about that, Dave?
Yeah, I could get him to say that.
Support these boys. They're really
Oh.
good guys.
Okay, dudes.
RingsideReport.net.
RingsideReport.net. That's right. That's the website. RingsideReport.net is a website. Go there. It's the best website in the world. We got a new revamped look. It looks brand new. It's beautiful. Go check it out
Very
right now.
informative.
RingsideReport.net. Exclusive stuff over on our website. RingsideReport.net. I will be back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after SmackDown, to preview WWE's Clash at the Castle, taking place this Saturday afternoon in
William
Scotland.
Wallace.
We got a big Clash at the Castle weekend, and I'm excited about it. I feel like I got to get the wrestling world hyped because I don't think there's enough hype for
Do
this
it,
match.
Dave.
So here we go. Big wrestling weekend. WWE's Clash at the Castle. We got a big summer for you coming up. It's the Ringside Report Network. We are here.
Do your
we are
voice.
with you. Whether Conor McGregor
That's
fights
right,
or not,
Antoinette.
we'll be here. Forever and ever. Forever and ever. We will be here. Thank you. See you later. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. Please share this episode on whichever social media platform you use. Add a comment below and consider reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time.